Hello and welcome back to TF1C, the Formula 1 chat. We're here to look at the Formula 2 race in Catalonia, where Felipe Drugovich absolutely dominated. We'll start with quali though, and it was Jack Doohan, the best driver there ever was. No, I love Jack Doohan, but he actually had a really, really good weekend. Proud of the lad. Took pole position, which was a very strong showing for him. Then it was Vips P2, who pulled a lap out of absolutely nowhere.
Yeah, very good lap.
And Frederick Vesti, who's been like last in every race, just emerged in P3. So yeah, interesting front row. Then it's supposed to be Drugovich on pole for the sprint, as he was P10.
Yeah.
But he got a 3-place grid penalty for holding up Pourchaire, impeding. Yeah. But yeah, he was fourth in the sprint race. He came through and won that, which was his first of his dominant phase.
So it was meant to be Drugovich on pole. He got a penalty, dropped back to fourth, and then, as you said, won it. Then it was meant to be Callum Williams on pole, but he stalled it on the formation.
Couldn't be asked to come.
Which meant he started from the pit lane, which meant, theoretical pole went to Jake Hughes.
Yeah, and that then pushed Drugovich up into P3, so he's already only 2 overtakes off winning it. He did win it, he then went to the top of the championship, and from there he just kind of pushed on. We'll kind of flip between the two, but Drugovich, what a weekend. Mm-hmm. Played the same strategy as ever in the race, but went longer on his softs, made sure that he had enough gap, pitted back, and then when he had hards, he was so much quicker than everyone else. He just absolutely, Vesti left the door wide open, and then by the time he got up to Doohan's tyres were shot to bits. So Drugovich with a double win. Only 4 other drivers have done that in the history of Formula 2. Lewis Hamilton, Nico Rosberg, Nico Hulkenberg, and Davide Valsecchi.
What a driver.
Which is absolutely class. But yeah, that's a very illustrious list to belong to.
Yeah, that's a very strong weekend.
Drivers like Charles Leclerc, Lando Norris,
Even
George Russell.
Piastri, who everyone thought was incredible.
None of them have claimed that, and obviously Max Verstappen didn't drive in Formula 2, so he couldn't have claimed it.
Yeah. Obviously, great weekend for Drugovich. One other standout performer for me was the Carlin, Logan Sargent.
Only one other? Doohan literally took pole and then...
No, okay, no, I didn't say
Did it matter?
Only one other, I meant another one.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
Logan Sargent, P3 in the sprint, P4 in the feature race. Very solid result.
Doubled his points tally. Wasn't 18 going into it. Came out of the weekend with another 18 points.
Which now puts him only 1 point behind his teammate, Liam Lawson.
Considering many consider him to be in the title fight.
Qualified P16.
Yeah, not great.
Not great for Lawson at all, really, this weekend.
No, and he now finds himself 49 points behind Felipe Drugovich in the championship. That is a lot of ground to make up.
Yeah.
Drugovich has really taken control of this championship now, but he seems to do it on and off. Bahrain, he got 4 points, 8 points. Then in Jeddah, 6 points and 27. Then Imola, 4 and 1, and then Barcelona, 11 and 25.
That's really strong.
So that's really not strong. Monaco doesn't bode well. Should win Baku. Won't do well in Silverstone. Will dominate Spielberg. Le Castellet will struggle. Budapest will win. Spa will struggle. Zandvoort will win. Monza will struggle, and then he'll dominate Abu Dhabi to win the championship.
Yeah.
Based on his current form. Yeah.
So just the sprint race top 5. Obviously, Drugovich won. Then Ayumu Iwasa in the Dams got P2.
Very strong from Iwasa. Had some really good pace, and without Deruvla blowing up, and then Iwasa just crashing into his car, but didn't his engine cut out Deruvla, and then Iwasa just hit the back of him because he obviously didn't think that the car would just stop.
Obviously, Sargent got P3. Deruvla, as you just mentioned, P4 in the sprint, but in the feature, car just cut out. Poor Iwasa went straight into the back of it, breaking his rear wing. Drugovich and everyone else managed to avoid it. His front wing. Yeah, he spun round. Bang. And then Pourchaire got 5th in the sprint.
But difficult weekend for Pourchaire. Very difficult for Lawson. Lawson comes away with 2 points from it. Very difficult for Yuri Vips. Of course, in the sprint race, it was P2. Sprint race,
he dropped down
made some positions up, didn't he? And then he spun it, or did he drop and then spin it?
He dropped down I believe it was P6. And then just another error.
Oh yeah, he must have gained then P6, because he would have lined up in the sprint race P9.
Yeah, good point. He gained out a couple. P6, and just as he shifted down to third gear,
way too aggressive.
Just lost the rear. spinning it, got a beach in the gravel. Once again, another costly error. And it's annoying. He's such a quick driver, but it's another stupid error, silly mistake.
I mean, he spent F1 practice one with Red Bull this weekend.
Yeah.
Which he was last, but then he did do a lot of hard time running. Yeah, and then in the race, wasn't his fault at all, was running up in P3, came in first into the pit box on lap 7, and the team completely fucked up his stop, and then he was well down the order. So he came away with none.
When he went for the win.
He came away with none. Vershaw, who was P7 in the championship, he qualied P20 and then was just kind of near the rear of the field all weekend, so he came away with none. Boschung didn't turn up because he had neck problems. He came away with nothing in P8. Doohan's second place finish, plus pole and some points on the Saturday, now put him up into P10 in the championship. And he's not... Doohan's only 7 points off Lawson. Considering Doohan has only really scored points in Catalonia.
Yeah.
Lawson really hasn't done anything. I mean, P2 and Bahrain.
The thing is, though, he's still P4 in the championship. He's still having an okay season.
So he won the sprint race in Jeddah and was P2 in the Bahrain feature. Other than that, he scored 1s and 2s and he got 6 points in the opening sprint race.
He's doing alright. He's not doing awfully.
Enzo Fittipaldi I've been impressed with recently.
Yeah, definitely P6 on the alternate strategy.
He got some points today. Obviously P2 in the feature race in Imola. Really strong from him.
Same with Clement Novalak. P5 on the alternate strategy. Really working well for him. MP smashed it this weekend, it's fair to say. Got the setup strategy spot on, really.
Yeah, so ART, but only with Vesti. Vesti obviously hasn't really been up there at all this season, but P3 here, got the podium, very strong showing from him, especially when Pourchaire was struggling so much. But yeah, Drugovich leads the standings by 26 points, so even if Pourchaire was to win the feature race next time out, he'd need to take fastest lap as well to take the championship, and that's without Drugovich scoring any. So Drugovich has got quite a hefty advantage at the front. Monaco, though, we know how good Pourchaire was there last year. So it'll be intriguing to see how he gets on this year.
Definitely.
But to be fair, I slagged off Catalonia in the W Series video, but it wasn't horrific. I mean, it wasn't good, but it wasn't horrific.
No.
It was all right. I mean, without Drugovich doing alternative strategy, well, not even alternative strategy, but just going late, and without a few hard runners as well, I think it's really boring. And of course, Daruvula bringing out the safety car, that helped for some action. But other than that, not a lot. I don't think it's a great track at all. It's a bit of a shame that it's on the calendar.
By the way, looking back at last year's F2 race, Drugovich got P2 in the sprint and P3 in the race.
Is that Monaco?
Yeah. So
again, it's a race that Pourchaire won, but it's a race that Drugovich was strong at.
Another weekend. I think he's just been very consistent across the whole weekend. It's not like he does badly in a sprint, wins the race, or does badly in the sprint, also does badly in the feature, wins the sprint. Yeah. He's dominated both races most weekends now, and he deservedly leads the championship.
Yeah, I mean, it's way too early to call a winner because a lot can change in Formula 2. I think Lawson needs to get his season back on track, because if not, I would have, before the season, I'd had him nailed on for AlphaTauri next season.
Yeah.
But he's not been great this year, and Daruvula is currently ahead of him in the standings. Vips has looked quicker, but then struggled occasionally with making small errors here and there. I don't know, I think he needs to be worried.
Definitely.
And with Albon performing in the Williams, they might consider moving Albon into AlphaTauri rather than bringing up Liam Lawson. And then what does Lawson do? A third season in Formula 2?
Yeah.
A lot of drivers that do 3 seasons don't end up really doing much.
Lawson,
I mean, take Drugovich, for example.
He should have won DTM last year if the bloke then smashed him out.
Kelvin van der Linde.
Oh, that infuriated me so much.
Yeah.
But he's a very quick driver. He's just not had a great start this season. Hopefully he can claw it back.
Yeah, well, he needs to claw it back fast. Monte Carlo, he didn't have a great time of it last year, but I seem to remember.
Last year in the feature.
Yeah, not stunning. Baku, though, that was Vips' weekend last year to dominate.
High-Tech dominated that last year. Vips won both races. Lawson got P2 in both races. They got P2 in one and P3 in the other.
And then Silverstone really could beat anyone. So I think Lawson can take some good points, but then we know Monaco is a track where Pourchaire and Drugovich really relish in.
Also, Monaco's a track where
being
anything
victorious.
can happen.
Yeah, I mean, you could see Drugovich leading Lawson at the back, which took like if Drugovich and Pourchaire come together and then everyone crashes into them, Lawson wins.
Yeah.
So
Then he
strong
cuts the
weekend.
corner and gets a penalty. Roy Nassani wins his first ever race in Formula 2.
Oh, what a guy, Roy Nassani. But yeah, it was an alright race. Drugovich got some huge points. Other than that, Deruvla unlucky because I think he had some decent pace.
Yeah.
Got 5 points from the sprint and then probably could have got another 10 or so from the feature, and then he started to put pressure on Pourchaire. So he got unlucky there. Lawson had no pace. Armstrong was alright. I mean, I don't know how the hell he's 5th. I've barely seen him this season. No, he's just got a few. He got 10 points in the feature at Bahrain, 10 points in the feature at Saudi, 10 points in the sprint at Imola. He won the sprint at Imola.
Oh yeah, I forgot he did that.
Jesus. And then he got 6 points this weekend, and somehow he's 5th. But yeah, Sargent shoots up into 6th. It's Verschoor, Boschong, Vip 789. Doohan now 10th. Iwata 11th. Fittipaldi 12th. Vesti 13th. Novalak 14th. Dennis Hauser really not having a great time of it. He's 15th. Then you've got Nassani, Hughes, Williams, Beckman, Sato. Ollie Caldwell's 12th. Cordeal is 22nd. Velas, Chen Bolokbasi 23rd. But then equally, Bolokbasi's had a few races out here and there, so... Is still behind David Beckman, though, who is not a permanent driver. So, but yeah, Bolokbasi, Caldwell, and Cordeal, the only ones not to score points. Nassani has 14 points.
Yeah, he's been flying. He got 1 this weekend.
He's not that far off Lawson. He's only 23 off. Roy Nassani takes a double header at Monaco.
This is a good place to end it.
Right. Yeah, we usually put F2 and F3 in the same video. We're going to try something different this week. So Formula 3 and Formula 1 videos will be out tomorrow. As long as something cataclysmically bad hasn't happened in between us recording this and recording the others. They'll be out tomorrow. And then, that's about all. If you have enjoyed, make sure to leave a like. Comment down below your thoughts on the Formula 2 race in Spain and the Formula 2 season in general. Who you think is going to win the championship and such. And, give us some predictions as well for next race at Monaco. They are, of course, back next weekend. So, in fact, it's only 4 days away until practice. On Friday. So, that's...
Back-to-back weekends for Formula 2. It's not what you don't usually see that.
No, it's exciting. And, so only Formula 2, Formula 1 next weekend. And, that should be very good. If you have enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe if you're new. We're recently at 30. So, let's see how high we can get that up. Not really, it's more of a passion project at the moment, the F1 channel, but it'd be nice to get to like 50, 100, maybe something like that by the end of the year.
Yeah.
Pretty decent. So thank you all very much for watching. See you next time.
See ya.